Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and this is a word of caution regarding watching pick a card love readings. So while there is nothing inherently wrong with wanting to know where you stand with the love interest on your mind, the reason why you're wanting to know where you stand with them matters greatly, as it can greatly impact your mental and emotional well-being. So a very good question to ask yourself when it comes to why you're watching pick a card love readings is, am I simply curious or am I actually clinging? Holding on to hope isn't always a good thing, especially if it's keeping you stuck in limerence or in codependence. The last thing I want to do is to enable limerence and codependence with the content that I create. I want to help you create a life in which you're truly thriving, not keep you stuck in survival mode. And I know how it all works because I've been there. So this is where grace, knowledge, understanding, and compassion come in. It's okay if the only way you're able to self-soothe in this moment is by way of participating in coping mechanisms, distractions, and the like. As long as you're also doing yourself a favor by learning how to heal the wounding that has been fueling any limerence and or codependent patterns that you might have. My promise to you is that as you heal the wounding, your dependency on your SP, which means specific person, aka the person on your mind, or your ex, will begin to dissolve naturally, to the point where you're not even curious about what they're thinking and how they're feeling about you anymore. I know this to be true from personal experience. When you're ready to start healing the wounding, I have some amazing resources to get you going. My personal recommendation is to start with 2 videos, how to stop manifesting separation, and then the other one is called Releasing the Wants. Both videos will be linked in the description box below. My heart is always with you guys, and with that I bid you more happy viewing. Love, Michelle. Pile 1, what's going on? Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle. We are doing another pick a card love reading, tapping in and channeling through who you are to your person, where do you currently stand with them, and what is it they're wanting from you in the connection. Okay, so just keep in mind it's a collective general love reading, so if it resonates, awesome, do whatever you want with it, right? Claim it if it's something that you want to claim. If there's something that comes out and it's not quite landing, you can just drop that bit of information, leave it behind for whomever might be resonating with. I have personal readings available, including this exact reading. I have this exact reading available in this exact format as a personal reading if you would like for me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. Just check the description box below. All the booking details are there under specific person readings. And there's a lot of them available in that category. Many of them are just $25, so go see which ones fit your needs. All right, you guys, we're going to get right into your reading. You guys were drawn to the Herkimer diamond, the very large Herkimer diamond. And I don't know if you guys can see, but it actually has a twin point at the top. So you might want to Google, what a twin point quartz, the spiritual meaning of it. It can be talk about soulmate twin flame energy, and that could be pertinent to your person's overall thoughts and feelings, their main energy and stuff when it comes to you guys in the connection. But what we're looking at right now is who you are to your person. And right off the jump, you guys, we got blessed with the number 22. Okay, wow. Very much synchronistic with you guys having been drawn to the twin top or the twin point Herkimer diamond with the number 22 and blessed there. Oh my gosh, your person feels like who you are to them. They feel like you're a soulmate. They might, even if they believe in twin flames, might even see you as a twin flame. They see you as being on equal footing with them in terms of what you're wanting, they're wanting. There's a lot of mirroring going on in this connection. I do want to, when I was pulling the pre-pulls for this pile, the Ace of Wands, when it came out, I did notice that it wanted to come out in the reverse position, but it hit the desk or the table in such a way that it made it flip up into the upright position, which is very interesting because it came out right after the Tower in the reverse did, okay? So, I mean, for who you are to this person, it feels like this connection had some kind of hiccups, right? There may have been a false start. There's also energies of maybe you guys narrowly avoided maybe some kind of a disaster, or you could be rebuilding after a time. But with the Tower being in the reverse, especially coming up after strength, this is your person putting in a lot of work, whether it's, you know, actual 3D work, you know, it could also be energetic work. Your person's in, like, for who you are to your person in pile one, they're in this headspace and this mind frame of wanting to do whatever it takes to make things work between the two of you, especially if there have been some missteps on their end. They want to do what they can to correct it, because your person is really seeing you for who you are to them. It's like you're a gift from the divine. Okay, they could even see you as some kind of a disruptor of possible, you know, your person could believe, and it's funny that it's coming through this way because I don't normally see karma reflected in the Tower, but I'm picking it up here. Your person almost sees you as like they don't deserve you. Like, if they were to look at their own, like, if they believe in karma, you get what you sow and stuff like that. They're almost like they see you as somebody who, how are they wanting to put it? Like, they don't deserve you. If they were to get karma, it's almost like that. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense, you guys, in the comments, because I hope I'm, you know, relaying that right. It's almost like they should be getting bad karma, but that's not what you are, okay? But this is a beautiful energy here. They see you as a catalyst, they see you as a miracle and a mirror all in one. So the blessed card sets the tone right away that your person sees you as somebody that they were meant to cross paths with. To them, it feels like fate, not coincidence. In pile one, you represent the kind of connection that reawakens their belief in divine timing. Something or someone, you know, to them, you're something or someone that arrived out of nowhere. And you cracked open a door to grace that they didn't even know that they were ready for. Yeah, that's it. It's grace, right? Because to them, it's like they shouldn't have this experience. It's almost, give me a second, you guys, because there's something that's wanting to come through. Okay, it's like the universe had mercy on them, because they're seeing, like, the way that they've been behaving prior to meeting you. Like, the universe had mercy on them, sending you their way. Your person, I don't know. I'm not picking up necessarily that your person has a low, like, view or perception of themselves. It's just they're looking at things realistically. Like, I don't know if they've been a player in their, you know, if they used to be a player, or if they've just, I don't know what the deal is, but they're looking at you in this connection as like they don't deserve it. The fact that, you know, you're even giving them the time of day, this is where they're coming from. The fact that you're even giving them the time of day, they're saying, is testament to how forgiving and graceful and merciful the universe could be. Because if the universe were to match your person's energy or match their karma up to this point, you wouldn't even look their way. That's how they're seeing it, okay? They're seeing themselves as blessed because of you, their connection with you, the fact that they even have a connection with you. So with strength here, especially with the Tower in the reverse, you know, they're taming whatever inner chaos and fear that they might be having. You do challenge them to be a better person. You challenge them to be more courageous, to be more heart-centered. They might still be struggling with vulnerability or pride, okay? But you call out the best in them just simply by existing. This is how they see you. And so with the Tower reverse, this tells me that your person already went through some kind of a personal earthquake. And instead of running from it, they're now trying to pick up the pieces very carefully. I'm telling you, your person, there's something about your connection, your existence, your energy. It could just simply be mirroring. Your person is understanding and realizing where, where maybe they've dropped the ball in life in general. Understanding where maybe they've gone wrong or gone off track in their life. They're definitely not wanting to lose what feels destined, so they're trying to rebuild in a more conscious, stable way. You're the lightning strike that shook their foundation, but now they're reconstructing themselves with you in mind. Okay, so you're a mirror, you're a teacher, you're an example of the universe just, being so forgiving and full of grace. And, also there's something about acceptance. Your person feels unconditionally loved and unconditionally accepted by you. I'm hearing radical acceptance. So with this Ace of Wands upright, especially after it tried to come out reverse, the spark between you two is still alive. Even if there were false starts, even if there were timing issues or resistance, that flame, I'm seeing that candle, those candles, those birthday candles where you light them and then when you blow them out, they re-spark by themselves. That's what I'm seeing. It's like no matter what happens between the two of you, I should say bad things, right? No matter what things that might have happened that would kill other sparks or kill other candles or just, put them out or extinguish them forever. There's something about your guys' connection. It just has that eternal spark. So no matter how, it takes a lot. Yes, you can, those candles I'm talking about, you can obviously put them out, right? But it takes a lot more. But that's what it feels like. I'm seeing that candle. That flame keeps reigniting itself. Okay, it's like the universe is saying, no, this is not over. It's not over yet. Yeah, and it's funny because I am picking up on something karmically magnetic about you and your guys' connection. There's a push-pull in this connection, and it goes from like I'm scared to lose control, which is that Tower in reverse, and I can't resist the draw that I feel to pile one. And so with the strength here, your person they're working through it. Okay, whatever resistance there might be on your person's end, they are working through it because they genuinely don't want to lose you. So who you are to your person, pile one, you're a divine gift that they did not feel ready for, but now they're not able to deny it. They just can't. They couldn't if they tried. You're also a catalyst for their transformation and their healing. You are a source of deep spiritual and sexual awakening. Okay, that Ace of Wands is not subtle here. You're also somebody who's teaching them about grace, how love doesn't have to be earned or perfect in order to be sacred. Okay, again, it's that unconditional love and that radical, I'm hearing self-acceptance. So you may have come into a space with yourself, pile one, where you've come to accept yourself and love yourself unconditionally and even radically, and you're serving as a mirror to your person to do the same. The number 22 is being highlighted to me here, which often symbolizes soul-aligned building, turning dreams into reality, into form. It's the vibration of a master builder. So this connection isn't just about chemistry or romance. There's a divine element behind it. There's a divine architecture behind it. It's meant to create something, be it healing or purpose, maybe even some kind of a shared mission energy. It's not here to just burn bright and vanish. For some of you, you're meant to actually have children with this person. that did come through, especially with fertility here in the Ace of Wands, okay? You may even have kids with this person already. So you're the unexpected blessing that shook up their world. just enough to rebuild it around truth, passion, and divine grace, okay? Let's see. Now we're going to move on real quick. Let's grab a quick note about their thoughts and feelings when it comes to you. Beautiful reading so far. Let's see what else we got going on. Pile 1's person, their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings towards pile 1, please. Their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings towards pile 1 at this time. Their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings towards pile 1 at this time. Your real, true, honest thoughts and feelings. Okay. Yeah, and this card right here pretty much it's funny that this is coming up right underneath the Ace of Wands because it did the exact same damn thing that the Ace of Wands did. It first wanted to come out in the reverse on the side that says still holding a grudge, but it hit the table and situated itself to the I forgive you space, okay? If there has been if there has been something between the two of you, I don't know if this is, I mean, it says I forgive you, okay? But it also could just be the fact that there's a couple of energies coming through, okay? For those of you where something happened between the two of you and your person might have seen that as like you doing wrong, or they felt attacked by you, or they felt like, you know, an affront by you, they've moved past it. But this feels more general than that. Your person could have been holding a grudge just on romantic relationships in general, you know, specifically what's coming out, and this is for those of you that, you know, it's just the message that's coming through. If it doesn't, you know, just put it into the context that it works with you, okay? Your person may have had just an overall grudge against just feminine, against women, right? But, oh, okay, that might be why you were brought in, is because you're healing that. Because anytime we have a grudge against, you know, something general like that, you know, against a whole group of people or a whole sign, or, you know what I'm saying? Usually it's reflecting something within us that needs to be healed. And so, not only are you helping them kind of heal from that feeling of like they have a grudge that they're holding against all women or all feminine energies, they also, that was a reflection of the relationship that they had with their own inner feminine energy. And you're coming in and you're helping them, like, you know, you're helping them heal that, which is awesome. And so they are moving past that. It says they've moved past it. Not moving, they've already moved past it, because they're saying I've moved on. I moved on from holding a grudge against women in general. They could have a very deep mother wound. They could have been abandoned by their mom or felt abandoned by their mom. Or, you know, whoever the dominant feminine energy is or was in their life, they've moved on past that. They've let that go, and you had and are having a very integral part to play in that. You're the catalyst for that. We have moving slow but making progress, and I forgive you, okay? At the bottom of the deck, we have love bombing and gaslighting. Again, that might be talking or pointing more towards who they were prior to meeting you and why they feel like, you know, you being sent their way. Basically, they're seeing you as like an earth angel. And they're like, I don't deserve this. The way that I've been treating women, the way that I've been treating romantic relationships and just being, you know, this playboy or playgirl or whatever. It's like the fact that I'm being given it's like they feel like they've been given a second chance, right? And and what they're saying is they don't want to mess it up. Let's find out where you currently stand with them. Where does pile 1's person currently stand with them? But the fact that we have love bombing and gaslighting at the bottom of the deck, it's like they're being a lot more responsible with their words now. They're being a lot more responsible. Your person feels the call of authenticity, right? To speak more honestly, to be more open and transparent. They really do see you as being a gift from the universe, as a second chance, right? Where does pile 1 currently stand with their person? I'm hearing it hasn't been easy for you guys. There's been a lot of stops and starts, false starts and stuff like that to this connection. You may have endured a lot. But your person is saying is they got the memo. They got the memo. They're trying to work through it. Mask. Okay. Not showing true feelings. Hide, personify, pretend, delude, gaslighting. We got that twice. Yeah, they're still struggling with pride and ego, but they're still trying to work on it. Because look, right next to that, we got kisses. There it is. Unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, and falling in love. So where they may have love bombed and gaslit before, okay, other connections, other people and stuff like that, with you it's actually real, okay? But there is a part of your person that still feels very leery about being vulnerable, right? There's still some fear and doubt attached to that they're working through. That mask is really strong. And it's there, it's there for a reason. Your person is having a very difficult time really letting go of that mask. It's something about hiding their true feelings, not showing their true feelings. Let me get one more. Where does pile 1 currently stand with their person? But again, you're calling them to be authentic, right? And they're feeling that. Not just you, but the universe is calling them to be more authentic. We have talking. It says, interested, conversing more. Awaited message arrives. This is text, call, email, and hoovering. Right on top of the Ace of Wands. And so for those of you, if you are in separation, this person might be wanting to manifest, communication between the two of you. There's also just energy going into conversations and stuff like that. At the bottom of the deck, we have Hammer. This is sabotage, rebuilding. Okay, I heard rebuilding after sabotage. Okay, so again, you guys could have had a legitimate tower moment in your guys' connection, and now your person is in the energy trying to rebuild the foundation between the two of you, okay? This says interrogation, repetitive, persistent, and working on it. Yeah, definitely coming through with that energy of wanting to work on things with you, wanting to rebuild the connection between the two of you, and wanting to do it right this time. Moving slow and making progress, coming out with kisses right there. That's your person, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to rebuild this connection in an authentic manner, but do it in such a way where they feel more comfortable putting their feelings out into the open when it comes to you. Moving slow and making progress towards being, not just being more authentic, but expressing themselves more authentically. Okay, but your person has a very difficult time. They're scared, okay? They're scared. They may have done a lot of lashing out and projecting, because what's coming through is they're scared of putting themselves out there because they don't want to be taken advantage of. And so because that was a fear that they had, that may have been what they've done before. It's like, I'm going to take advantage of you before you take advantage of me. I'm going to get you before you get me. And they're trying to not create any more of that karma anymore in their life, especially when it comes to you in this connection. What do they want with pile? What do they want with pile 1 in this connection? What do they want with pile one and their connection with pile one, please? They're almost afraid to say it out loud. Mutual feelings, okay? Yeah, they want equal give and take between the two of you. They want you to want them the same way that they want you. They want it to be real, is what they're saying. They want this to be real. Again, a lot of the love bombing and gaslighting and stuff that they may have done in the past, that feels like self-protect. Again, they held a grudge against like feminine energies and women in general, but it was also one of those things where deep down inside they wanted to have a healthy relationship with, you know, feminines or with women or with their own divine feminine energy, but at the same time they vilified it, right? They made women and they made it an enemy. Now they're starting to see the error, right, of their ways in that regard. And they're coming back home to themselves in a really good way, okay? And you had a lot to do with that pile one, and they know that. What does pile one's person want with pile one, please? What do they want with pile one and their connection with pile one ultimately? We have, let's see, regret. It says feeling guilty, remorseful, wanting to undo damage. Yeah, and that's coming out right underneath the Tower in the reverse. That's exactly what they want. They want to undo any damage to this connection that they may have caused, okay? Let's get one more. What do they want with pile one and their connection with pile one? That's too many. Let's just get one more. Money is tight, wish come true, something is brewing. No, I'm actually going to take those, okay? And then runner at the back of the deck. Again, there's still a part of them that is very afraid of opening up their heart completely. They're afraid of getting their heart broken, and it's beyond heartbreak. They're afraid of being shattered at a soul level, okay? Again, they're saying. So we have something is brewing, which is breaking point, losing emotional strength, on the verge, but I feel a little more like it's breaking point because we also have wish come true with wish fulfillment, all that you've ever wanted. Dream girl, dream boy. They want to be that for you, but they also want you to know that you're that for them. You're their dream person. You're a wish come true to them, okay? That may have come at a time in their life where they may have been at a breaking point. You may have come at a time in their life, pile one, where they were going to head in a direction that was going to be utterly disastrous for their life path, and you got plopped into their timeline right at that juncture, and it's like you're steering them in the right direction. Somehow they know that, okay? They know that. We also have money is tight. It says money problems, not enough money, careful about expenditure. This feels more like energetic wise. I mean, they could have issues with money, right? They could, but this feels more energetically careful about the way they're spending their energy. Careful about, very careful about the way they're handling you and the energy of this connection and their own energy in relation to you guys, okay? Purposeful spending energy wise, being very careful with their words, making sure that their words match up to really how they're feeling, right? Not gaslighting and not love bombing. Like if they tell you something, if they say they love you, they want to make sure that they are speaking that from an authentic space, because there is this energy that your person is coming through in pile one. They've been given a second chance by the universe, by karma, and they don't want to mess it up, okay? It's that energy of like they knew they were in some deep, heavy debt when it came to karma-wise, when it came to the universe. And their connection with you is evident that that debt had been forgiven, and they're not wanting to run that bill up again. I hope that makes sense. Runner at the bottom of the deck says avoiding the connection and running from themselves and ignore. Yeah, there's still part of them, there's still a part of your person that they're, working again, working with, trying to heal from, that is still scared, that still wants to run. And that part of them, as long as they continue the work, they continue to show up even when they're scared. It's that part of them, because I feel like at one point in time that runner energy was front and center. It would have been out, it may have been out on the board before. Have you been doing, with these readings? It's taking a back seat though. And the more that they keep showing up, regardless of the fact that they're scared, the more that you show up, pile one, consistently, and you continue to show them unconditional love and radical acceptance that heals them at a deep cellular core nervous system level. It's like, that's why it keeps weakening. That runner energy, that love bombing and gaslighting energy keeps getting weaker and weaker and weaker in them, because they're starting to feel safe being themselves authentically. They're starting to trust more, right? All right, pile one. And I want to say, I just saw a ladybug. I haven't seen a ladybug in ages, and there's one crawling on my screen on the window outside. So look that up and see, what significance that might have. I feel like that's a message for you guys. Feel free to, if you do look it up, feel free to share what it is you found in the comments for other people that have picked this pile as well. Anyway, I will see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. Before you guys head out though, make sure you're taking a moment and smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated, because this was pretty awesome, right? Not to say that you guys haven't had some rough times with your person, but the energy that they're in feels really good towards you. Yeah, and then become part of the family if you haven't already done so, simply by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile one, I will see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. Bye, guys. Pile two, hi guys. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. We are doing another pick a card love reading, tapping in and channeling through who you are to your person. Oh my gosh, sorry. Who you are to your person. Where do you currently stand with them? And then what is it that they want with you and from you in this connection with you? Okay, you guys. So just keep in mind, it's a general collective love reading. So if something's resonating, you can do whatever you want with it. Run with it if you want to. Claim it if it's anything that you want to claim. If something comes through and it's not quite landing or it doesn't quite resonate, just drop that bit of information or that message and leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating with, all right? I do have personal readings available, including this exact reading in this exact format. As a personal reading, just check the description box below. It'll be listed under specific person readings. And I do have a lot of readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25. So go see which ones call out to you, which ones you need, all right? Pile two, you guys were drawn to the Ametrine. So this is amethyst mixed with citrine. There could be an element of addiction here, because amethyst itself, if you look up the meaning for amethyst, it literally has something to do with, like, healing from self-sabotage, healing from addiction. That is specifically coming through for some of you. So I don't know if maybe your person self-sabotaged a lot in this connection, but the fact that the citrine is coming through, there might be a breakthrough in that, okay, that you guys were drawn to that. So let's see. Pile two, who is pile two to their person? We got orphaned in the reverse. The number 5 could be significant. The number 5 also talks about difficulties, conflict, sometimes chaos. There's conflicting energies here. Your person may have a hard time speaking their truth just overall, or maybe they have a hard time expressing themselves authentically. We also have the Ten of Swords in the reverse, the Hermit in the reverse, and the Fool. There's that breakthrough with the Fool. They put you through a lot, or you guys have gone through a lot together in this connection, haven't you, pile two? My goodness. Let's see what Orphaned has to say in the reverse. What do we got here? Reversed, it says, the shadow side of this card speaks to the essence of abandonment. Perhaps you feel a need to remain apart because intimacy is too threatening. I feel like that was the overall vibe. And I feel like there's a transitioning happening, but there's something very fragile going on here, especially with the Hermit in the reverse. I'm hearing it could go either way. Let's see. Perhaps you feel a need to remain apart because intimacy is too threatening. It also warns against creating inappropriate family structures in order to conceal old wounds. It's time to address the unhealthy alliances you formed and to make a decision to heal the past. You will not be abandoned by the world if you claim yourself as whole. Not all relationships are dysfunctional, and not all of them will disappoint you. Don't abandon yourself. You can connect to others in a healthy way once you recognize your patterns and consciously choose to interrupt them. Life wants to love you. Let it. Pile 2, right off the rip, I'm getting an energy here that there's a lot of mirroring energy going on here. So I am going to be speaking, about your person and how they've been showing up, but there's a call here for you to kind of ask yourself, how might they be reflecting my own wounding, right? So a lot of these messages, when I'm speaking from the perspective of your person, many of them might actually, pertain to you as well. I feel like there's a mirrored abandonment wound here, where one person might have been running away from, this connection to avoid abandonment, right? Detaching to avoid abandonment, and somebody else in this connection may have been clinging to the person, clinging in order to avoid abandonment. So, mirroring wounds here, but you guys have been maybe dealing with it in completely opposite ways, okay? With the Ten of Swords in the reverse here, this can talk about recovery after devastation. So something really bad could have happened between the two of you. It could also just be that you guys have already hit rock bottom, as a connection, and you guys are on your way up from that, possibly trying to rebuild. But this Hermit in the reverse, yeah, again, it's very shaky ground here. But again, with the Ten of Swords being in the reverse, it's the rise after the fall. So in this connection and in the context, this could mean, pile 2, that you are the energy that's helping your person crawl out of some kind of mental and emotional wreckage of their past. So to your person, you're proof that not every ending means total destruction. You represent renewal. And so your person could have been, this Ten of Swords, again, there's a lot of mirroring happening here. A lot of projection, maybe, so like in order to avoid a Ten of Swords experience, in order for your person to avoid a Ten of Swords experience, which can, heartbreak, betrayal, it goes beyond disappointment, but it could very well be subconscious, and maybe not. Some people do this on purpose. Your person could have, been the one to betray you in the connection before you had a chance to. Not that you would, right? But we're talking about the way their internal, the way they function internally. Okay. But again, and this is so important to understand, pile 2, there's something fragile about this energy here right now, the stage here. The possibility for things to open up and go in a whole new different direction, the possibility for renewal and transformation and a breakthrough. That's what it is here. That energy is here, but the stage that has been set for it is still very fragile. You know, if your person's not doing the inner work, and with the Hermit being in the reverse, I'm still feeling like they're avoiding that, okay? Because inner work means that you have to face yourself. You have to face those inner demons. And that can be very scary, very scary. And your person is still resisting that with the Hermit in the reverse here. And so, you know, if with your person refusing or just not doing the inner work, it's very possible, I'm going to even say probable, okay, that they're going to run again. They're going to repeat old patterns and old habits with you again. This is where things get messy, okay? So again, with the Hermit being in the reverse, this amplifies this isolation versus connection theme. There's a push and pull. You know, there's an inner struggle going on that your person feels when it comes to you in this connection. There's a big part of them that yearns for connection with you. There's an equal or maybe even bigger part of them at this point that fears it, terrified of it even. So when reversed, you know, this often means that, you know, someone may have been alone for too long, or they're using solitude as a shield instead of a sanctuary. And so to your person, you might represent the invitation to come back out into the light, but you also stir something within them that says, you know, I can't keep hiding forever. They want to hide. I feel like they want to hide from abandonment. That's why they run. They're afraid of being abandoned. They're afraid of opening up and trusting. I'm gonna say, and it's not anything that you've done or haven't done, pile 2. They don't trust you yet. There's still that fear of being abandoned there, and they need to work on that. That doesn't matter how consistent you are. It doesn't matter, you know, how perfect you might be showing up for this person. And I'm not saying that you are or aren't, right? I'm just saying it doesn't matter how good you are being and how consistently you're showing up if somebody refuses to do the inner work. Their nervous system is always going to clock connection and bonding as a threat if they're not willing to actually sit with their inner demons and transmute them and alchemize them and face them. Okay? They're resisting the pull of this Hermit energy here. I mean, they could be alone a lot, but they're not actually doing the work, right? They might be doing this as a way of dissociating rather than actually facing their fears and facing their doubts. You know, with the full upright here though, this is kind of like a ray of sunshine. It's like that citrine and that amethyst, right? The possibility of this is there. You are the one in their life, pile 2, who inspires a fresh start with them. You're like that ray of light, that hope, right? That beacon. You're like the reset button. There are times when they look at you and look at this connection and they think to themselves, you know, maybe I can trust love again. You know, this is where those moments where you embody a new energy, you embody innocence and adventure and possibility. They see you as somebody who makes them feel alive again, makes them feel curious again and hopeful again, but to them it still feels risky. Because, you know, in order to embrace that, they have to let go of their need to protect themselves through dissociation and emotional distance. And so, yeah, I mean, who you are to your person, they see you as, you know, their invitation to heal. They see you as a promise, a possible promise of, like, you know, a whole new beginning, a whole new life, a whole new direction, a whole new start. You symbolize both the fear of being abandoned and the hope that maybe this time connection won't destroy them. You awaken their longing to believe in love again. while also forcing them to confront why they stopped believing in love in the first place. There's definitely an undeniable romantic and sexual chemistry between the two of you where your person is concerned, pile 2. But the lesson runs much deeper than just attraction. It's also about learning that intimacy doesn't have to equal loss, right? To them, you're not just a lover, or you're not just temptation. You're a mirror, you're a healer, and possibly the one who reminds your person that it's safe to begin again if they're brave enough to take that fool's leap, because there's an element of faith with this fool here, right? But your person is struggling with that. There's still a bigger part of them that feels this inherent need to shut down in order to, protect themselves from being hurt again. But there's this light that you carry with you, this innocence that's shining bright to them. And they are feeling pulled in that direction. But again, there's something very fragile about that. That push and pull in your person's energy, pile 2, is still very strong. I just saw something that was upright. Hold on. You'll hear from me soon. Okay, so if your person if you guys are not talking right now, that was just a little message that wanted to pop in there, that you are going to be hearing from them soon. They're just, they're in the middle of this, yes, they are in the hermit energy, but they're doing it for the wrong reasons. They are isolating themselves from you and from the connection, but it's not for the purposes of facing their demons, healing, reflecting, or anything. They're dissociating, okay? And they might be dissociating through, some kind of addiction. That's a little bit more on the specific side, so if it doesn't resonate for you, just, hit the pause button on that. More messages are coming through. Pile 2's person, their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings towards pile 2 at this time, please. Their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings when it comes to pile 2 and their connection with pile 2, please. Let's get one more. So far we have, I'm telling you the truth. I want to be more than friends. One more. Yeah, I'm not a safe space for you. At the bottom of the deck, we have it's just a game to me. Let me see. Bottom of the deck is not always the strongest of energies. It can mean that it's kind of a background energy, a background hum. It can also mean that it's on its way out. So let me double check that one real quick. It's on its way out. Yeah. They may have been approaching you in this connection as if it were just a game to them, right? But they're starting to take this connection with you a lot more seriously, especially for those of you where you have been holding it down in this connection with and for your person, especially for those of you that have been consistently showing up, as reliable, trustworthy, as a safe space for them. They're taking you in this connection a lot more seriously because they're seeing that you're not, however they might be used to people showing up in their lives, they're seeing that you're not the same. You're not like those people. You don't operate that way. For some of you, they might see you as a whole different breed of person. Like, you're authentic, you're loyal, you do what you say and you say what you mean, and they're not used to that, right? They especially if they are, in any kind of addiction, they could be used to people who, just those kinds of environments where people are just only out for themselves and out for number one, and you get the gist. Tell me about I'm telling the truth. I'm telling you the truth. What are we telling the truth about? For those of you where you said, where your person may have told you like they're not ready for a relationship, or they're just not in the space for one, or if they had a conversation about their feelings about commitment, especially for those of you where you might have felt like, oh, they're just, you know, they're just saying that because they don't feel like I'm the one, or they're just saying that to keep me as a placeholder. They're saying that they genuinely are meaning like it has nothing to do with them not seeing you as not being the one. They genuinely see themselves as being somebody who isn't ready for that. They may have a very low perception of themselves, which makes sense if they are somebody, that is currently embattled in addiction, in the throes of an active addiction. Tell me more about I'm telling you the truth. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're being real about what they want. Like if they've ever told you that they love you, if they've ever told you that, if they could be with you now, they meant all of that. That we have the Knight of Wands showing up in the reverse with the King of Wands. They're not speaking from a space of just being a lover boy, a lover girl, or a playboy or a playgirl or anything like that. It's not about them just wanting to keep their options open. That might be there. Your person could very well be just kind of wanting to keep things casual and lighthearted between the two of you, because honestly, your person is coming through in this essence of, they don't want to promise you something they don't have the capability or the resources to promise. And, especially with whatever this addictive energy is here. And it doesn't have to be, it doesn't legitimately have to be like substance abuse or alcoholism or anything like that. Anytime that we're running away from, abandonment wounds or attachment issues, coping mechanisms can be pretty brutal. And your person is saying, they know themselves well enough to know that they just wouldn't be able to give you the kind of a relationship dynamic that you're wanting. And they don't want to hurt you. Genuinely, they don't want to hurt you. Before, they may not have cared, again, because there was a point in time when they were looking at this connection as it was just a game. It wasn't that serious, blah, blah, blah. But over time, they have come to see you as somebody who is very authentic, very worthy of whatever it is you're asking from them. They are saying that you do deserve that specifically from them. And they're also saying in the current state that they're in, they are not, and they're coming right out and saying, I am not a safe space for you, pile one. I'm not. They're not. They're not a safe space. They want to be. For many of you, they want to be. We also have here, it says, I want to meet more than friends, okay? They don't want to necessarily be friend zoned, but they're saying, and they're also saying, I don't necessarily just want to be friends with benefits. I don't necessarily just want to be a situationship. And at the same time, they're taking some personal responsibility and accountability for some of the ways that they choose to deal with some of their, deep-seated pain, abandonment wounds and stuff. Okay, and with the full energy, because I feel like that's what's very fragile, is this new beginning that is there, that could be taken advantage, not taken advantage of in a bad way, right? But they're saying the reason why they're not jumping headlong into this connection is because they know they're not a safe space for it. So this obviously means, pile two, they know somehow what it is you're wanting from them, whether you've communicated that directly or indirectly. They're being honest about where they're at. I'm not a safe space for you, or this connection, pile two, if what you're wanting and requiring is something more exclusive and committed. I'm just not in the space for that. Your person has some coping mechanisms, they have some ways of distracting themselves from the pain that goes directly against what you would consider to be a safe space for a connection and a committed, exclusive connection, if that's what you're wanting. And even for those of you where, you're okay, or, maybe you're open to maybe something more sexually open, or you're polyamorous or something. There's something here that your person is saying, even within the context. Oh my God, why did I just see Cardi B and Offset? There's some deep, yeah. So even if you were to give them the okay, like, just be open and honest with me, we can have something that's ethically non-monogamous, but, you gotta, you know what I mean? It's that kind of an energy. And they're saying, even in that, I can't be trusted, because my inner demons are so strong. Pile 2, this is your person speaking. They're saying, my inner demons are so strong and so gnarly that I'm going to do whatever it is I want to do when I want to do it. And I'm not going to think twice about it. Not because they don't care about you. They do. But because, they're in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you're looking out for number one. Right? That's just how it is. Let's see where you currently stand with them. Where does pile 2 currently stand with their person? Whoa, so we had coffin, but it wanted to do something really effing strange. It actually came out. Yeah, that's why this energy feels so unstable, because it almost acted like it wanted to come out in the reverse, but it didn't quite situate. And so they're very unstable energy. Let's, we got girl with a snake and the butterfly. God, yeah. Let's get one more. I just saw seduction and, God. The energies here are so back and forth in this connection. It literally, it could go one way or the other. Okay, come on. Where does pile 2 currently stand with their person? Palm tree. I like that. I mean, I guess it depends on where. We got the chaser in the reverse. Oh, no, sorry, chaser in the upright position. I'm going to say there's confusion on your person's part about where it is you really stand with them, because they're always double-minded. They're always in one mind or the other, right? When they are being driven by the wounding, they're thinking about you in this connection one way, but then when they have those moments of clarity, they see you in the connection in a whole different way. And so it goes back and forth, okay? There isn't really a solid answer for where it is that you stand with your person, other than to say that, they see the potential. They see the potential of the connection for where you stand. They can see it as something that has the potential to go the distance, right? It's almost one of those energies, pile 2. Like, if they were ever to really be able to get their shit together and commit to anybody, it would be you, okay? But they're standing in that very unstable, insecure position of, like, if. That's a big if. That if is very big, right? It could really go either way. Coffin says, endings bring new beginnings, growth, change, liberation, and transition. I mean, so, like, for where you stand with your person, there's going to be an ending here one way or the other. I feel like that's why it's saying, like, it could really go any direction. There is an ending here, but whether it's going to be an ending that leads to this full energy where you guys are able to get set up on a path where it's, it's very, very, very iffy. I'm just going to be blunt and honest, pile 2. If your person doesn't get a hold of that inner demon, if they don't get a wrap on, that wounding, they're going to pick whatever that addiction energy is all the time. There's something that your person is running away from, that puts them in this position to where they can't be and they won't be a safe space for you. Where their connection with you won't be a safe space, where it may have to be you guys are just friends, maybe even platonic, right? They don't want that, but they're understanding and realizing whatever this addiction or that inner demon, it could be both, right? It's bigger than them. That's what they fear anyway. The potential for this relationship to evolve to the next phase is definitely here. Your person sees that. They know that. But, you know, in order for them to heal their own inner child, they have to face that inner demon, and they're so afraid of it. And that inner demon is not necessarily addiction itself. It's what the addiction is trying to numb out and cover up. Your person, you know, for where you stand with your person, pile 2, they see this connection as in themselves as being somebody that you have to enforce boundaries on. Because they know they're not a safe space for you. Let's see what it is they want. What does pile 2's person want with pile 2 in this connection with pile 2? Oh, we got broken promises, but it's showing up in the reverse, okay? We also have toxic. Yeah. Not good for you, low vibrational, toxic relate. I'm telling you, that wounding is driving the bus right now, okay? It just says what it is. Give me one more. Apology. Yeah, they do want to apologize. You know, your person is not proud of who they have been. They're not proud of who they are, period. But they're definitely not proud of who they have been to you in this connection. They're not proud. They are seeing you as somebody who is loyal, somebody who is trustworthy, but they know that they're not. And they're also apologizing for not being a safe space for you because they know that's what you want. But, you know, for what they want from you in the connection, it says confession, mending relationship, and rebuilding. Yeah, they want, you know, like ideally, they would be able to rebuild things between the two of you. They would be able to mend things between the two of you. And they also understand that in order to do that, they have to show up consistently in a certain way. And they know themselves better than that. They're like, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm just not a safe space. They're dealing with there's something raging underneath the surface that they keep trying to run away from. And the way that they try to run away from it is a direct affront to, you know, you and the connection. And they know that. And so for some of you, your person is keeping a distance from you because they know they're not a safe space. They're not bringing you into their lives because they know they're not a safe space. For those of you where your person hasn't reached out, they're not in communication, this is why, okay? They're in the process, again, of running away from whatever that inner demon, that abandonment wound is. But I mean, you know, they're being serious. They're being honest when they're saying, because we got paralyzed at the bottom of the deck, they really don't want this connection to go anywhere in terms of like, they don't want to lose you. That's why they're saying, you know, I want to be more than friends, but it's out on the board because they're saying if that's the only way that I can have you in my life and I know, you know, that you're gonna be safe is at like that, then they're willing to do it. It's not necessarily what they want, but you know, you're valuable to them. In any regard, even if you guys, you know, they do have sexual and romantic feelings towards you, but it goes beyond that. They're like, they do value you as a person. They value the connection just as the connection. And it's like, if the only way that I can have pile 2 in my life is as a friend, I'll take it. They want more than that, but you know, they're understanding and realizing where they're at in terms of like them being a safe space versus not being a safe space. And they're like, you see what I'm saying, pile two? All right, we're gonna go ahead and end your reading there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, take a moment, if you would, smash the like button. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below, let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family if you haven't already done so, simply by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile two, I'll see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. Bye guys. What's going on, pile three? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. We are doing another pick a card love reading. We are tapping in and channeling through who you are to your person, where you currently stand with them, and what is it they are wanting when it comes to you and their connection with you. Now, I do have personal readings available because this is a general collective love reading, right? I do have personal readings available if you want me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. And just remember, because it is a general collective love reading, you know, definitely take whatever resonates, claim it if you want to, if it's something that's worth claiming. If something isn't quite landing, just drop that bit of information or that message and leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating with, okay? And for those of you who are interested in personal readings where I'm tapping exclusively into your connection with your person, I have this exact reading available in this exact format. All the booking details can be found in the description box below under the specific person readings link. I have a lot of readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25, so go see which ones fit your needs. All right, pile three, you guys were drawn to the Labradorite cats. Feline energy coming through. Let's see. So who you are to your person. We have a change in the wind. Something's brewing. Is there a storm brewing here, or is there something? We also have the Sun in the reverse. We have Magician, and then we have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. Leo energy, we have Gemini and Virgo energy coming through with the Magician, since that's Mercury energy. Let me see what the book has to say about a change in the wind for who you are to your person. All right, we have essential meanings. Says a sense that unseen change has been initiated. Preparation for a storm. Awareness that your plans are not on firm ground. Feeling a shift. Uncertainty about which direction the winds will blow. Yeah, so your person isn't quite knowing like who you are to them. That's changing and that's shifting. We're going to find out in what direction that's going. Oracle message says it's human nature to yearn for certainty and resist change. To want the world to remain consistent like a zebra's stripes. Oh, did you guys did somebody in this connection put down some kind of boundaries or maybe like an ultimatum? Like the connection was going in a specific way and now somebody in this connection wants it to go a different way. Someone here is challenging the status quo, okay? What has been up to now. Let's see. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, nor will anything remain static. The one thing guaranteed is change. Now is a time of transformation as outer conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. Yeah, so for who you are to your person, you might be the one who is switching things up in this connection, okay? And your person may not be liking it a whole lot. Book continues to say, stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear the air, scatter seeds, and nourish the soil for better things ahead. Life is about to get interesting. Anticipate it with curiosity as you wonder what is coming in on the shifting winds. The unknown is where the magic lies. All right, and then we're going to read one more excerpt from the book. It says, for relationship message, relationships go through periods where partners seem out of sync with each other. Yeah, for who you are to your person, pile three, y'all are not on the same page about something, okay? You're not marching to the beat of your person's drum anymore is what I'm hearing. Relationships go through periods where partners seem out of sync with each other and stormy emotions and moods threaten to take down the ship. Perhaps someone has a change of heart and leaves. Yeah, these rough seas offer opportunities for mutual growth, a way for you to understand your own heart better and to know what you need in order to truly be happy. Rest assured that whatever is happening now, good will come from it. Take temporary shelter and remove yourself from drama. The air will clear and everything will be fresh and new again. This too shall pass. Yeah. And so I was already picking up on like stormy weather between the two of you guys. It probably just the imagery here with the change in the wind. But your person feels like they're trying to keep an optimistic view of things, especially with the Magician here being in the upright position. I'm going to be honest, pile 3, what's coming through, it's like no matter what you may have said or no matter what boundary you may have put down, your person is somewhat confident that they're still going to get their way somehow. With the 8 of Swords being in the reverse, they're not really too up in their heads about it. They're not really too worried about it. With that Sun in the reverse, it's almost like your person's saying like, you know, I may not get exactly what I want out of this, but I'm going to get something that at least makes me happy. We'll see what direction that's going in. Pile 3's person, show me their overall, their true honest thoughts and feelings towards pile 3 and their connection up with pile 3 at this time. Yeah, it says I don't and I didn't appreciate what I found in you. The real true honest thought, I'm all in. Oh, and that's showing up right underneath that Magician too. I'll clarify, but let me get one more. I'm not getting the best energy coming from your person, pile 3. I'm gonna be honest. The energies that's coming through pile 3 is they want what they want. I'm not picking up on a lot of energy of your person budging too much. They're willing to budge a little bit, but if there's a very specific boundary or a very specific request that you put in with your person, pile 3, they're trying to figure out a way to get around it. Okay, let's get one more. Yeah, I refuse to fall in love and catch feelings, period. Okay, it just is what it is. We do have I'm not over you at the back of the deck. Let me see if that's background energy or if that's on its way out. It's background. Yeah, so they're not over you, okay? Not even. Very sure of that with the King of Wands in the upright position, okay? Star at the back of the deck. Yeah, they're definitely not over you. But I'm going to say they're very optimistic that they're going to get what they want, okay? So, I don't know. I can see that if this is something that maybe you've done before. They call it protest behavior. Like if you told your person you're going to block them, you're not going to talk to them anymore unless they show up a specific way and blah, blah, blah. And then if you've caved before in the past, I can see why maybe they're like, oh, I'll get what I want eventually. You know, pile 3 is just throwing a tantrum. You know, I'm speaking to you from like how they're seeing things. I'm gonna say it, pile 3, if you put in a boundary, if you put in an ultimatum, they're not taking it seriously, okay, for whatever reason. For many of you it might be because you've done it before and you caved, okay. Let me find out what I'm all in is in reference to. But again, we have I don't/didn't appreciate what I found in you. I'm all in, and then I refuse to fall in love and catch feelings, period. What's I'm all in about? Ace of Wands in the reverse. What? Right underneath the Magician in the upright position. What the fuck? There's some double-minded energy here, okay? Be very careful about your person, pile 3, about them saying whatever, because they're not above telling you what they think you want to hear in order to get what they want from you. Be careful with that, okay? They're not above it. There's almost, I don't normally pick up on manipulation when it comes from the Magician energy in the upright position. That's usually in the reverse, but I am picking up from it here. Your person is not above manipulation tactics to get over on you, okay? Straight up, they're not. There's a lack of authenticity. There's a lack of sincerity and genuineness coming through in their energy when it comes to you into this connection. You know, because and this is, you know, it just is what it is. It says, I don't appreciate what I have in you, or what I found in you. I don't appreciate it. They're all about themselves. They're all about what they want. And this is probably a lot of it. And this is why the 8 of Swords is showing up in the reverse. They're not all up in their heads when it comes to you in this connection. There's an energy coming through pile 3 of your person not really being afraid of losing you. Not because they think that they will. They think that you're not going anywhere. Your person is pretty, and this could be true. You could very much be, you know, hyper attached to your person. You could be stuck on them. And if you are, they know that. That's why they're not concerned about it. To your person, pile 3, they know, this is where they're coming from. They know you're not going anywhere. They know it. Again, I'm picking up a lot of energy on people in this pile having put their foot down about something, but your person is not taking it seriously. And for a lot of you, it's because you've attempted to put your foot down before and you caved, okay? There is some advice coming through, you know, for those of you that want it, okay? If not, just tune out for a second. If you want your person to take you seriously and not put you through the same cycle again, what's coming through is to make sure that your person follows through on something. Don't just believe words, okay? Demand action, whatever that action might be. Yeah, all right, let's see. Yeah, your person is saying, I'm all in for getting what I want. But they're all in it with you too. See, we got the Queen of Wands, and then earlier we had the King of Wands show up. So this is a divine, you know, they're not, they want to keep you in their life. They want you in their life because they do see you as a perfect match and a perfect partner for them, but they're very selfish in this energy right now, pile 3. It just is what it is, okay? This is going to be one of the shorter readings of the other 2 piles. Coming through in very selfish, self-centered energy, pile 3. It's all about what they want. What they want to give, the experiences they want to have. Where does pile 3 currently stand with their person? Yeah, be careful about all talk. Talking says interested, conversing more, awaited message arrives, text, call, email, hovering. Tell me more. Where does pile 3 currently stand with their person? They get very good vibes from you, pile 3. That's not the issue. They're just very selfish and self-centered and all about self right now. In a bad way, right? We got coffee cup, yeah. Meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted in friendship. Very lighthearted, right? When it, again, they do value their connection with you. They do. But it's like they're looking out for number 1 more. They value like themselves more, but not in a constructive way, in a destructive way, right? It's coming from a wounded space than, you know, a space that's filled with unconditional love and acceptance. Let's get one more. Well, I like that if the golden mirror had to come out, I'm glad that it came out in the reverse. Coffin at the bottom of the deck. Man, okay. Oh, this is what they're saying. If you actually hold your boundary, pile 3, if you don't budge, okay? If you're not participating in what's called protest behavior and you really are standing on business, that mirror is going to shatter. Okay, in a good way. In the upright position, the golden mirror says self-absorbed, narcissist, one-sided relationship, and love bombing. If you hold your boundary, again, that mirror is going to shatter. Let me see if I can find out what direction that might mean that things are going to go. In other words, they're saying like they're going to take you seriously if you hold your boundary. They're going to realize like you're not budging this time. You're not coming up off of that boundary. You're not coming up off of that business this time. You know, they better ship up, or what's that? They better shape up or ship out, right? So coffin at the bottom of the deck, it says ending brings new beginning, growth, change, liberation, and transition. Yeah. Transition and change and transformation can happen here, okay? I don't know though, because we have I don't know. This is some sticky ass, messy ass energy that your person is in. Oh, but they're saying it's just because they're not taking it seriously. Like if they were to see that you're actually standing on business and you're gonna go in a different direction if they don't shape up, then that might get them to a space that they need to be in order to take you seriously and be like, okay, I better get my shit together, right? I better get my shit together, or my perfect match, my Queen of Wands to my King of Wands, is gonna walk out that door and never turn back, right? Let's see what they want from the connection. What does pile 3's person truly want with pile 3 and their connection with pile 3? We got phone call. Oh, we have that coming out. All right, so they definitely want to talk. They want to have a conversation with you, okay? Wow, we got pregnancy here. It says getting pregnant, building a family, giving birth to something. Let's see what the other card says. One more. Phone call says expression of interest, wanting to talk, communication is key. And that's showing up right underneath the card talking. Okay, so your person is definitely wanting to talk to you. If you have blocked them, if you have cut off all access, including communication, man, they want to talk to you so bad, pile 3. So bad. Okay, but at this point, they're not in a space right now to have that, you know, really deep, you know, are we going to get committed? Are we going to get real? They're not in that space yet, okay? This is also saying that they might be reaching out to you with communication, and to also be very careful about the words. About, yes, it's all right to want to have faith and trust that what they're saying is true, but you need to also make sure that they're backing it up with some kind of action, okay? For some of you, the chemistry, the sexual and romantic chemistry between the two of you is so strong that might be what they're after primarily. Not to say that they only want that from you, but they're kind of in this headspace, pile 3, of going down the path of least resistance, okay? If left up to their own devices, they would just keep things the status quo between the two of you, which feels like, in the energy that's coming through, very little investment on their part. Okay, coming through in very selfish, self-centered, even lazy energy. But if you hold your ground, if you hold that boundary, that could call them into that higher vibration, you know, the healthy expression and representation of that King of Wands energy that we saw earlier, okay? One more. What does pile 3's person truly want with pile 3 and their connection with pile 3? What do they truly want with pile 3? Runner, yeah, what did I say? Avoiding the connection, running from themselves, and ignoring you. At the bottom of the deck, we have plastic. What they want things to stay the way that they are, which feels very surface level. It doesn't feel, I'm not saying that the potential for a real love connection isn't there, but your person is not, they want things light. They want things surface level. They don't want to get deep. They don't want to get real, okay? They're wanting to run, which is weird because with with pregnancy here, it says getting pregnant, building a family, giving birth to something, unless your person has like a, what do they call that? A breeding kink. You know, it's kind of weird. Let me clarify that and see what's going on with pregnancy here for what it is they're wanting from you and the connection. They could legitimately want to have a baby with you. Okay. If you are pregnant by this person, this is just them letting you know they actually do want the baby. Okay. That's a very specific message. It's not going to resonate for everybody. Tell me more about pregnancy, please. The Five of Swords in the reverse. Tell me more. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Your person, what they're wanting is they want to have it's almost like they either want to like put a baby in you or get pregnant by you just so that, almost as if to shut you up, right? Like, it's so weird. It's like, you know, maybe if pile 3 and I have a baby together, pile 3 will chill the fuck out and just, you know, whatever. I'm telling you, it doesn't make any damn sense. It doesn't, whatever. They're willing, though. They're saying they're willing to have a baby with you if it will smooth things over, but they're not willing to, like, you know, I don't know. Is for some of you, do you guys hold the title of something committed and exclusive, but they're not acting like it? Because it's almost like, yeah, I'll give you the title and I'll give you the label. I'll give you the title and I'll even give you I'll give you the label. I'll even give you a baby. But it's like, there's a specific way you're wanting and needing them to show up, right? Because actions speak a whole lot louder than words and labels and stuff like that. And that's what they're not willing to do at this point in time. All right, pile 3. That was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, take a moment, if you would, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. If you haven't become part of the family yet, you can do so simply by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. Pile 3, I'll see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Bye, y'all.